It's another Thursday, isn't it? And I'm down in the basement again. It's all coming back to me now. Oh, hello! And welcome to the WakeUp Show. And I guess by the looks of it, you're awake. You know, I like starting it out down here on the ground, subterranean dream level. Keeping it fresh and real as ever, with the Golden Gate behind me, and now obviously eventually it'll be the bona fide real Golden Gate. I have no idea how that's going to work out just fine. There must be a view of the bridge somewhere in the tri-state area. It'll work itself out. And typically I'd wanna, like, before we set the show off, wanna sort of like try to cleanse myself of whatever's been like weighing me down as of lately. And yeah, I had a horrible weekend. What happened? I was like Friday night I was a bit like tired or something, and the kids were like asking about stuff, and I was, oh, come on, don't stop with the like all these questions all the time, please, and let's just like quiet down, like calm down, and let's be like gentle and cool with each other. And I was like, so be more thankful, be more what's it called when you're not rush, be more calm. And then like Saturday, I was like, Saturday I'm gonna be the calmest person on planet Earth. And I woke up and I was like, I'm the calmest guy. And then 2 hours later I was like, oh my god, I'm not the calmest guy at all. I can't be the calmest guy. And then everything just fell apart because I couldn't be what I imagined myself to be that day. And really hit down hard on myself for not being what I imagined myself to be being at that current point in time. And it just stuck with me. And on Sunday I was like just lying in bed and was like, well, what's the point of it all? This just seems like a circle around nothing that just keeps on going infinitely into the abyss, which I guess is the black hole, like holding the entire galaxy together. But that's more sciencey than I'll dare go on this non-very sciencey talk show. And I went for a long walk. I went for a super long walk. And even the walk, I walked for hours, and it's freakishly cold in the dream currently. And I came back, and I still felt awful. I was like, it's just not letting go. Because I wasn't letting it go. I was clinging to something which I thought I knew what was. I had no idea what I was doing, and eventually it just... It's so strange with the human existence, because you keep thinking that everything is like, well, now it's going to be like this forever. But it's just temporarily. And then I was the calmest person on Earth again, realizing that you don't have to walk around claiming to be the calmest person on the planet. Just be you. Just be me. I have to be me, you be you. And well, you get what I'm playing at here. And now that I've sort of purged myself of my aimless walks in the dream in search of my calmness, I think it's about time that we start this great show. I have a wonderful guest. We got fun stuff, books, and I think even we had like some alcohol-free champagne. What a feast! I think we should get started. Run the intro.
Live from the dream, aka Drummond, it's the Wake Up Show with your host, Wolf Thunder Flitty.
It's great to be back. It's another Thursday, and this is the Wake Up Show. And you know, here's the thing about the Wake Up Show. It's made in a way where you, my friend, can help make it. Well, I don't. It already is something. You can make it more of what it is, or you can help me on my quest to make the greatest show the universe has ever seen by becoming a patron on patreon.com/thewakeupshow. You get like some extra extra stuff, you know, the ULF experience. You might even like get your filthy hands on one of these great drinking beverages. You can use them for coffee, tea, cacao, or alcoholic-free champagne. Is it champagne or is it more like kind of champagne?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. And yes, that was really nice. Well, we have a wonderful show for you guys here tonight, and I can say we today because you know I got my man Mark with me on the technicalities. He's here, and it's so great having a colleague. Man, what a dream come true in the dream of all dreams. And I have a guest, this wonderful person whom I've met a couple of times here in the dream, and I was like, we need to get her on the show. And I asked her to be on the show, and she said yes, and that's all there is to it, you know, to get someone on board. So should we bring her into the studio? I think it's time. Camilla, do you want to come into the studio? Come into the studio, yeah.
So
pull
I
up
just
a chair, pull up a
fix my
chair.
chair.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your chair. And then hopefully you'll sit sort of where. I would
Yes.
hug you, but we're not supposed to hug now.
No.
But we'll save that for later.
Yes.
Is your microphone okay? Or are you,
Is
are you
my
messing with the
microphone
mic?
okay?
Is
Yeah.
microphone okay? Yeah, microphone is okay. Now, I'm gonna do like this. If you cut to Camilla's camera, you can see it's Camilla Otterlei.
Yeah.
Otterlei.
Otterlei, perhaps? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
You're the author of books.
Yes.
And then, for those of you who don't know who I am, do I cut to this camera maybe? Yeah? I am a Wolf Thunder Flitty, reader of books. Huh? That wasn't so hard. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's nice to be here in this very authentic surroundings.
Yes, this is so real
Yes.
that when Annette said, Ulf, I need one of those boxes behind the Golden Gate Bridge, I said, what?
Yes.
It's the studio. You can't. It's so real that you can't.
But it's actually very well organized because there are all the sizes. It's just pick out the right box.
Yes, she is very well organized.
Yes.
I just taped a bridge in front of it. That's what I do.
Yes.
I'm a bridge builder.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you are an author.
Yes.
But you are so much more. You are human. You are a dreamer, which is where you reside. Have you always been a dreamer?
No, I don't think so actually, because I was very it took me a long time to found out that I actually wanted to write books. I was we're seeking too much outside instead of the inside. So now I am a dreamer. So now we live in the dream. I like the name of the city to be.
It's pretty
the
nice.
Dream.
Huh?
Yes.
It's like if ever you were to choose a place to live, wouldn't you want to be living the dream?
Yes, we actually chose to live here because of all the nice atmosphere and nice people and
yes. Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise. This is what you write books. This is what you do.
Yes, but I also help people with dreams because I help people who want to write books. So it's kind of living the dream and helping them with finding their way of express themselves and find live meaningful lives.
That's great. You know, a favorite guy of mine, Joseph Campbell, who wrote the Hero with 1,000 Faces, and was very much into the mythology of the hero's quest. And obviously, his point was that this is sort of infused in all of literature and storytelling and whatnot. And the story is always a hero leaving the village, going out into the world, getting a treasure, typically by slaying a dragon, metaphorically or physically, coming back to the village and sharing the bounty, the booty, no, the treasure.
Yes.
And it sounds to me like you did just that.
Yes, but the interesting thing, because when I write, when I help people with their stories, it has to be the place that you leave behind. There must be something that's not like fulfilled there. People don't change unless they have to. So either they're forced out or they are seeking something.
Yes.
And that's really important in the books, that their mission, that they're eager, their longing has to be really strong, and you remove all the safety that a living child need. Like, for instance, Pippi Longstocking.
Yes, the Swedish superhero.
The Swedish superhero. She has a mother in the heaven, and
yes, and a pirate father.
Yeah, the pirate father. She doesn't have any parents, but it doesn't feel unsafe for the children, because that's why she goes out on all these adventures, and there are like robbers into her house, which she has no problem with fixing. But if you put it in like real life, it would be really like a really. Then the children, barnevernet.
Or the Child Protective Services.
Yeah, they would be there like really quick
they'd
to
be there
fix
in
up.
the GIF. Yeah, that's true.
But when you write something, then you have to like send them out on a journey.
Yes.
Yeah, and either they leave, they move themselves to a new place, or they come back and they're like getting to handle the situation with their new knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they've grown.
Yes, exactly.
I think there was somewhere. Actually, it was from a Shakira song, and I really liked it. It was like birds don't just fly; they fall down and get up.
Yes.
Because you have this idea, birds they just fly. No, the first time they fly, they're actually literally falling.
Yes.
And then they figure it out.
Yes.
Sometimes not. But that's actually the sort of daring to go out on adventure, whatever it might be, requires letting go.
Yeah, and that is the exciting things with writing children's book, because when you then send out the children, they have their own way of seeing things. They have their own way of, like, for instance, that if their parents are like getting separated, they can take the responsibility. They can say, okay, it was my fault because I did something, or yeah. So that gives so many options, because you can really be into that child's see things through their eyes, and that can open a lot of opportunities which the grown-up has sort of they have grown up, so they like see things through the grown-up eyes, but the
lens
child
of the grown-up.
they want to save the world with whatever they have, and that so it gives like many options in the story. Very fun to play with all those different opportunities. Yes, which was actually when I was doing like research on this show. I was here is someone doing a talk show, and there is a short way from having an idea to actually go through with the idea. Yes, and that I like that, because it brought me back to my art study period, where you wanted to follow your dream, you wanted to follow your ideas, and just being creative and do something that felt like truth, or that you were just curious, you just wanted to find out something, and what happens if I do this? What have you like the child?
The child. Well, that's exactly what I am doing.
Yeah.
Because obviously my journey was very much sort of into the career path of things. And I always felt drawn towards, films and television and this thing where you could make these realities which seemed real, even though they were constructed by the people who made the film or whatever it was. And then I worked for years, in the film and TV industry, and all of a sudden it just dawned on me like, but I just want to explore it even further. What happens if I'm in front of the camera? What happens if there is some calling here? There is something I want to explore here, and I'm just going to do that. Yes, and it's so liberating. Yes, truly. And yeah, you feel like a child again, especially when the bank calls and like, you have a mortgage, and and I'm like, yes, and I have Patreons, and things. And they're growing for each show. Yes, more or sort of. Yes. I hope yes. If the audience gets the point, it will. Yeah. If you build it, they come. It's like a Kevin Costner film back in the day, Field of Dreams. Yeah. He builds like a baseball field in the back, and everyone's like, he's lost his mind. Yeah. And then all the ghosts from the past, or maybe I didn't even finish watching the film. Let's put a pin in that one. Yeah. But I bought like a notebook the other day, and it says, "Don't grow up. It's a trap." That's good. That's pretty solid advice. Yes. And I mean, all the people that are writing emails to me and say, "Can you help me with my dream? I want to write a book." It's all they've done the career, or they have done, but now they want to go back to something that's their dream. Yeah, this something authentic, something. Yes, and real. They're so scared because it's so important. It's so close to their heart. Yeah. Oh, and then I also that's also why I liked the energy here, because it's okay to do mistakes. It's okay that it's funny. It's okay to be crazy. It's just okay. Did that idea, and then sort of you can just keep on expressing yourself and make small stories. But if you have that one dream, like the holy dream, and you put everything on. It's a lot for that dream to sort of carry. Yes, so I have sort of tried to make a method for getting off the shoulders that you have to do mistakes, and I give them like very short time to write, so it can't be good, all the way to take off the pressure and start play again and see what happens if we do this, what happened if you do this, what happened if you write, you lay down on the floor, you write and it's stupid, and still you do it because you are finding out what happens if I lie there instead of sitting on my chair. What happens if I write with an ice cream in my hand? It's just trying to like mess up the brain. Yeah, bypass the brain even. Yes. Yeah, to give the brain something to be preoccupied with, so you can be in connection with sort of like the creative source, which doesn't seem to have that much with the brain, because the brain seems to sort of be very rational and doesn't really get the whole thing. Yeah. It's interesting. Every Tuesday I go dance hip hop at the dance place here in the Dream, the Attic, and every time Thomas, the dance instructor, it's hip hop, of course. Says like, so once you get the steps that I've learned you, now just make mistakes. Try to explore and like fail. Yeah. And I've been there for a couple of years, and the first times I just didn't get it, because why would I want to make mistakes? I want to do this perfectly. I just want to copy what you did and do exactly the same thing. And then gradually it sort of dawns on me that, but I can find my own thing. Yeah. I just have to dare to actually sort of let go of all these ideas of making a fool out of yourself, or failing to some point where you'll be expelled from the village and say, never come back again. Yeah, you have to sort of find your own rhythm, and your body is already talking, so it's just like follow the moves, and I think
all artists, even like great authors, and if you compare yourself with someone else that you look up to, you can't really appreciate your own qualities.
No.
It's like a curse that you always like think that but you take it for granted what you're good at yourself. But when you play, it doesn't matter, you know, and you just create, and like you say with dance, you sort of find your way of writing, because I'm not very a patient person. So I often have different projects, and I sort of find a rhythm there where I write a little bit here and then it stops, but then I just go here and I just go here, and I like keep on working, but I don't let go of the main project. I just take my time, but that is a sort of it's energy in, you know, it so it sort of it gets its own expression, which is mine after a while. You get good at what you do and you keep on doing what's working, and you have to do mistake if you want to keep on
that's the only way to find out what's working, is by daring to actually make the mistakes, so you can sort of see, well, what's really working for me, and
yes, exactly. And you don't want to stop. You don't want to like, okay, now I'm good enough. No, you always want to like be in
growing.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And then you have to every time you go out of your comfort zone, then you get like a bit insecure, and you don't expect to speak a new language just by visiting the new country. You have to
3 days, and then I should be speaking Spanish, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you are a genius. But I mean, for us normal people, you have to like you have to try out and do mistakes and talk rubbish in the start, and after a while you can be more fluent then.
Is there something to there's a term called fake it till you make it?
Yes,
which sounds a bit like shallow, I guess, but it is very true, because nobody really knows what they're doing.
No.
Until they start doing it, so they can figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, and yes, and sometimes you think that a very famous artist has created it themselves, but everybody's stealing, you know. But we call it to be inspired by something.
Yes.
But you are just stealing and modeling, and you are saying, "Oh, this is a really nice way of writing. I will try that myself." But you can't cope in the end, so it sort of merge with the language you already had. But you sort of it gets richer in a way. You find
evolves.
Yes.
Yeah. This is why I fell in love with this thing called hip hop back in the 80s, 90s. Was that they took something and then they just refurbished it, reused it in a very unapologetic way. It's like I like this part of the song, so I took this part of the song and then I just used it, and then I took another part that I like and put that on, and then I rapped on top of it, and it's just something about like you said, we're all inspired by something, because this is evolutionary speaking, we're just sort of constantly like a tree, we're just like growing new branches. Oh, it takes this way, that way, and then it's, oh no, that's mine.
Yes, I think I always like encourage my students to be shameless, you know, just steal that one and mix up that one, and if you can provoke someone and they say, no, you can't do that, then you really should do that, you know. Then
yes, because it's your universe to create. So no, you can't bring Harry Potter into the Star Wars universe. Yes, you can, because it's yours for the taking. You do whatever you like.
I just did.
I just did.
Yeah.
Nice. So you write books, and you've written this book.
Yes, that
Earthquake
was
Heart.
yes.
And now I've read this book, and there was a lot of talk about angels in this book.
Yeah, at least a little bit, because
well, a lot, I guess that's all very much depending on. But I really liked that sort of line going through the book about like angels and what are angels. And you know, because this is a talk show, and what I typically do if I want to sort of make sure that I get it, I go out into the dream and ask my fellow dreamers about angels. I was wondering, do you believe in angels?
Sure. Why not?
Yes.
Yes. How about you, sir?
Yes.
Angels.
Angels.
I believe in war, not angel. I believe in something. No, I don't believe in that.
Do you believe in angels?
Nah, not much.
Not much.
Nah.
I believe what I see. I don't believe.
Yeah, I see.
You know, in my opinion, you know, there's nothing there.
What is an angel?
I think it's a creation of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angel is a creation of God, like human,
Yeah.
like animals
Plants.
and plants. Yeah.
Planets.
Yeah.
That's
Plants.
cool. Yeah.
So that way I think angels are also a creation.
What is an angel?
She's an angel. I believe in her though. It's something you can't touch.
Yes. That's good.
I don't know. It's nice people.
It's nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Angels.
angels.
Yes.
Angels. Now, so I obviously previously, when I was a young and very scientifically based human specimen, I was very provoked by the idea that there was something called angels, and that could really be of any help to anything to talk about something like outside of a human or a cat. But there was also something called an angel. Recently, though, I've sort of realized that there is something very cool about this word that seems to sort of convey this feeling of someone, I don't know, personally, if it's someone looking after you.
Yes, exactly. Because in the book, one of the main character's friend, she gets ill, and if you don't believe in angels, but you actually need a guardian for your friend, like what do you do? How do you relate to? Do you believe or not believe? Do they exist? Do they not exist? And you have the hope. Yeah, that was like what I wanted to follow, because you would do anything for your friend, and she believes in angels, so you can't take that away. And if the doctors can't help, how can you help as a child?
Yeah. I think the approach was great, and obviously it was very nicely done in the book, because the main character does not believe in angels.
Yes, well,
or she doesn't. Isn't very invested in it, but it doesn't really mean anything to her.
No.
But her friend, it's important to her, and then all of a sudden, the angel materializes sort of in the space between the two, because, well, if she believes in angel and I am her friend, then angels must. Then I must sort of create angels, and there was something to that which I really liked.
Yeah,
like it's sort of
nice.
like I really felt that like there was something very like profoundly true about this thing where being there for each other puts us sort of into this guardian angel type mode. Yeah. Did you believe in angels?
No, but I think I'm trying to like I'm like seeking answers in the stories, ways of kind of different views on the things that we can't see, because there are so many like mysteries in life.
Yes, there are.
And religion, they are like, I think either which religion you choose, are kind of doing the same things for us by giving us hope and taking care of us when we feel vulnerable. And they all have like pretty the same stories.
Yes, they are very much alike.
Yes.
And they're sort of built around the same structure, which is sort of to give you answers where there are none.
Yes,
like, for instance, like,
and that's what I love with the children, because they are like taking it very literally. Or they are like, and they also use it. So that's like what I was talking about with all the opportunities when you have the children as your characters, because like in the book, they want to help their friend.
Yeah.
And perhaps if she can see an angel, because that's like her highest dream or hope, will that give her like the power to overcome the illness?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they take it like really, literally.
Yeah, and there's obviously something very naive about that approach.
Yes.
But naive is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, because if you have like the power and you have the, you can take action. You don't have to sit down and wait and grieve. You can do something, which I think is a good position.
It's very empowering.
Yes,
it is. Yes.
So, and that I think you can see that in the world that that children they take action where the grown-ups have sort of given up because it's impossible. Now it's not impossible. You can do something, and
I was out walking with my son the other day, and we were talking about something, and then it sort of just was in the conversation was like, well, here's the thing: like children will always sort of outperform their parents or outgrow us because that's the whole play.
Yeah.
Like if not, we'd all be just sitting around. I don't know what they did thousands of years ago. We were just doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like then Frank would come in telling that stupid old story, and then his son would come afterwards and just tell the same story, and we'd be like, well, this is very static, and this constantly evolving and growing. Like organism that is both us and the planet will reside on, and everything, and children are such a great way to both remind us who are pretending like we are something different than children, that we are somehow, we are not children, we are adults. We know what we're doing. Like that's obviously at some levels we do because we know how to start a dishwasher and to drive a car, but really we're not like experts on the human life. And I've been here for 43 circulations around the sun, and from what I can tell, the older you get, the more trouble you tend to make.
Yes.
That is interesting.
Yes.
But back to the angel thing. You don't believe in angels like the biblical angels? So because what I like about the word is that I feel that I'm sort of, I can take myself the liberty to think what I want about what angels are or are not. You know, it's an open thing, even though obviously Christianity has sort of tried to pin it down to sort of these people with wings who come around playing on harps and
yes, but it's like big questions, and
it's a big show, big questions.
Yes,
territory.
Yeah, it's the right place. Yeah, but I feel that I'm like trying to find out answers on big things, like in my books, but like it's in a day setting. The frame is like it's realistic stories.
Yeah, that's I have to say that's what I really like about your book, is that you take something that you obviously could sort of go very far out and make it very divine, and just like take it very down to the pure like human level.
Yeah.
How can we be angels for each other?
Yeah.
If an angel is someone who is sort of giving you hope, or helping you sort of surpass this obstacle in your life.
Yes, and I also read like lately a book about the Snossa guy. You know, the old man.
The old man in the Snoss.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
With the healing hands and and I think that we are so we always hope, and we are very open for things that can like we are. Open for mysteries somehow.
Yes,
but we also can be very locked. But I as a person, I'm very curious, both curious and skeptical. And so when I have person or characters in my book, I can like set up the open-minded and the skeptical, and I can they can confront each other.
Let it play out on the page.
Yes, and I always have like in myself, there is one side of me that's like, go on, come on. And there's also someone holding back. And I also have that in my books. One of the persons are a bit scared and do not want to do mistakes. And are insecure and everything, that part of me, and then I just add another person who are like really with guts and that do mistakes, that scares the other one, and then so it gets like energy and in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Thank you. I hope so.
Now, as you may know, I like to play the guitar.
Yes.
And I'm going to play a song.
Yes.
Because this feels like good. Don't you think, Mark, that it's a good time for song? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Audience, you love songs. Okay. So this one, I think, it seems to me it fits perfectly into the sort of conversation we're having right now, and we need a bit of a breather with some music, because that's music is, after all, pretty fun, great, awesome. I have a dream, a song to sing. It helps me cope with everything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take the future, even if you fail. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels, and I know the time is right for me. I cross the street, I have a dream, I have a dream, a fantasy. It helps me through reality, and my destination makes it worth a while. Pushing through the darkness, still another mile. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels, and I know the time is right for me. I cross the street, I have a dream. I cross the street, I have a dream.
Yeah, that worked.
That worked, right?
Yes.
But I was pretty...
Yeah, that's a good show. You want music, you make music.
Right?
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
Yes.
Now, in addition to angels, trying to make nice, smooth segues into this mysterious thing called live television, there is this thing about friendship.
Yes.
Right, which is also very powerfully portrayed in the book, because it's very much about friendship.
Yes.
And you know what? When I want to sort of figure out like the facts of life, I go into the dream and ask my fellow dreamers. What does it mean to you to be a good friend?
A good friend is you do to others that you want others to do to you.
Yeah.
A good friend. Wow. Somebody that's there all the time? I don't know.
Goodness. I don't know. Kindness.
A good friend is a people who care about the other people. Who a good friend is who do everything, who think every time about who gives the best for other people.
I think it's somebody that is like showing up no matter what.
Yeah. Are you friends or family or?
Oh, family. I'm his uncle.
Oh, you're his uncle. Nice. Yeah. Is he a good uncle?
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
Looks like a great guy. So do you. Having a great uncle, that's pretty awesome. Friendship.
Yes.
It's about being there for each other and like, yeah.
Yes, and with children, it's like very serious because you are the best friend one day, and then the next you're on your own. Yes. So I introduced in this, like it's becoming a trilogy actually, my first, which is cool. Yeah.
Yes, because this is the second book.
Yeah,
Earthquake Heart is the second book in the series, where the
Yes.
first one is a cat missing.
Yes, cat missing. And then we introduced that Simone, the main character, she feels that she's a cat person in the world
Yes.
of dog persons.
Yes.
Yes, and they're in a pack, girl pack with a
Yes.
leader. Everybody, when the tail is like wagging when the boys from the 5th grade go by, and she like feels different. She likes to have her own opinions about things, and she don't want a leader. So there are some conflicts there, and still you can find friendship even though you are a cat person and a dog person.
Are you cat or dog person?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think perhaps it's also sometimes a cat person, sometimes a dog person.
The best of both worlds. I have to admit I am sort of a cat person,
Yes.
but I also really like dogs.
Yeah, and you have a big pack.
Yes,
Yes.
I have. And I guess there is there is the balance of the whole thing,
Yes.
which is also, I guess, an important ingredient in friendship.
Yes.
And even though it's a book for children, and now it's already sort of up into the open that I don't really differentiate adults and children that much, because just like any Pixar movie, it seems it's made for everyone, not just for the children. And also the same with your books. It's these lessons about friendship and life in general applies to us with driver's licenses as
Yes.
well.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you that sometimes grown-ups can be like even more childish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love to also like put that into the books as well. Grown-ups that are supposed to be grown-ups but are more like a children, so that the children have to step up, and that also gives some nice sort of opportunities for me when I write, to choose grown-up characters that are obviously like childish, so that the children can laugh at them, the young reader can laugh with their parents. Yes.
Now, these characters in your stories and the stories, where do they come from?
Yeah, and that's so. Some of them were like people I knew, and my first book was a version of me, because we had a rabbit, me and my sister, and one of them died.
Oh.
We didn't know which one. I actually bought it. And then my father, he said, well, no problem, because Pelle and Kalle, we don't know which one is dead, so we call the one that's...
the survivor?
Yes, P-Kal.
P-Kal.
No problem.
Problem solved.
Yes.
Your
And
dad,
then,
he's the solver of
yes,
problems,
and we were so happy when we found dead animals in my childhood, because then we could bury them.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why you can use yellow onion if you really want to cry. You take the onion.
Yeah, you'll cry
in the funeral.
That.
Yes.
Oh, didn't think of that. Should bring that to the next funeral.
Yes.
I cry very easily, so I don't think I need it. But yes.
Yes.
Smart.
And that, like, after the funeral, you have what we call like a gravøl, like a.
Yes, it's like a funeral party.
Yes, but and then one of the. I was, on the 17th of May, on the Constitution Day.
Yes.
I was out with my, my dress and everything, and a mother came running after me and said, "Yeah, you wrote that book, didn't you?" And my daughter, she wanted to have the funeral, bakery in her birthday. So, so children, they are like really, they are getting inspired.
That's good.
Yes.
It's
That's
okay,
cool.
right? To inspire others.
Yes.
That feels pretty all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but I actually, you know, brought a book for you.
You brought a book for me?
Yeah, I did, because...
Well, I love books.
Yes, and this is, you know, a meeting with the dream, our city.
A book
Yes.
about the dream.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
thank you so much.
Yes, because, you know, we moved here like 7-8 years ago, and we met this beautiful, you know, new renovated city, and I was like, where is the soul?
Yeah.
Has it disappeared, you know?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so we had to like meet a lot of like nice people, artists, and yeah.
Do you feel like you found the soul
Yes,
of the city?
I've been everywhere, you know.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Visiting like cabins in the forest and swimming on cool places, drinking coffee, you know, eating sausage.
Exploring
Yes,
this
like
place.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking about like the truth, the looking for what's real, authentic.
Yes, the core of the dream.
Yes.
I love taking walks in the dream.
Yes.
I've walked the dream, try to sort of walk any possible sort of, and just sort of look around and just sort of like feel, what is this place? And it's,
Yeah, and I think
Pretty
everybody, or not everybody, but many people have a place like in their heart. They know where to go. You know, they know where the treasures, the soul of the city or the forest,
Yes.
and you know where to go. Like you're not trapped on Karl Johan in Oslo. If you're from Oslo, then you go to all the like lakes or, you know, the secret places.
Yeah,
Yes.
the real places.
The real places.
Not these make-believe.
Exactly.
Well, in New York, you have this place called Times Square. And everyone goes there, and what's
Yeah,
interesting about
actually
Times
been
Square
there.
is everyone. You can't not go to Times Square. But the thing is,
No.
Times Square is just a bunch of people looking at each other because that's where you have to go. And then there's all these ads around
Yeah.
it. But interestingly enough, the entire place is just a square, and what you can see there is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you have to go to Times Square because there's a lot of people there, and then you've seen a lot
Check.
of people. Check, I've been there.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously everyone knows that your experience of New York was something completely different, and that's the authentic experience. Wasn't having a hot dog on Times
Yes.
Square.
Yes.
Even though actually my father-in-law did have a hot dog on Times Square, and he actually liked the onions and stuff. He was making such a mess that I think they had to close down the entire square and like hose it down. This is an almost true story.
Yeah, but that's what we do. You know, you take something inspire a story, and then you can use your imagination a little bit.
Yes.
Yes, this is a book.
That's what we're equipped with. Our
Yes.
imagination is a very powerful device.
Exactly.
Almost the most powerful device we have.
Yeah.
Because we have the capacity to love, and it seems infinitely greater than our creativity. And maybe they're intertwined. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, obviously, I feel very much this place called San Francisco, very close to my heart. I feel very at home there.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't been there for years.
No.
But I will go back, and the show, it will happen
Yes.
in due time. Now, this book of yours, Earthquake Heart. Now, as you know, I read this book this weekend,
Yeah.
and now I wanted to try something very interesting, which is, do you know there is a thing called time travel,
Yes.
and my plan was I was planning that we travel back in time to when I was reading the book. Now, let's see if we can't actually do that right now. Oh, hello! So nice of you guys to drop in from the future. Wow! Yeah, I'm reading your book, Earthquake Heart. I'm like stick in the middle here, and I guess I can just read out loud for you guys, and you can just sort of get into it, huh? It's pretty nice. Chapter 16, Sick Girl. The Sick Child. Edward Munch had called his painting for over 100 years ago. But he could never have met Eileen, so how on earth could it be that the girl in the painting looked like Eileen on the dot? It says that it's Sophie, the older sister of Munch, who died of tuberculosis when Munch was only 14 years. She all of a sudden heard a low voice behind her. Simone turned around. She hadn't noticed that someone came into the room, but behind her was an old, hunchbacked man with a white hair and a raisin-like face. He had a red tulip flower in his buttonhole on the suit and looked like he was 1,000 years old. He supposedly said that he painted this picture through a veil of tears, continued the man. Is that why it's so out of focus, said Simone, and squinted towards the coarse contours of the girl in the bed. What's tuberculosis, by the way? It's a horrible lung disease that killed a lot of people in the olden days, he replied. She caught a glimpse of a sign tagged to his suit. It said, Guide. That's probably why he knew so much about this. Didn't they have any medicine? She asked. Not in those days, he said, and looked past her and out into the empty room. But what made you stop and look at this picture in particular? There are so many more famous paintings here. Simone had to ponder that question. The picture chose me, she said. You're a wise girl, said the old man, and didn't think her answer the least bit odd. He lifted a shaking hand towards his breast pocket on the suit and found a gold necklace. In the end was a shiny round medallion. Can you please open it for me? He asked and gave the jewelry to her. Simone took it without a word. Carefully, she pinched her nails in the crack on the side. With a little nice sound of it, the medallion opened in two. Inside were two black and white portraits, one in each half. One was of a boy in a mattress hat, the other of a cute girl with long braids down her shoulders. That's Anna, he said, and pointed towards the girl with a crooked finger. And the Goldilocks, that's me. You look exactly the same, Simone said. We were twins and the best of friends, answered the man. We weren't old when Anna got tuberculosis, just like Munch's sister. Did she die too? Whispered Simone and gave him the medallion. He gave a brief nod. Just after this picture was taken, he answered and straightened up. I think Munch captured this moment so well in his painting. He got all distant in his eyes. I remember so clearly we were awake and praying by the bed where she lay. My friend is also sick, Simone said all of a sudden. She don't know why she'd share this information with a complete stranger. Maybe it was because they'd been through the same thing. The most true thing in life is the here and now, the moment, said the old man and gave her a comforting smile. Memories we can carry with us, but we cannot live in the past, and no one knows what the future might bring. Well, that was an odd thing to say. Simone turned towards the painting again. She looked at the empty eyes in the looks of the girl on the picture. I wonder if she knew that she was about to die. Do you think there's anything I can do for Eileen? Asked Simone. There was no answer. She turned towards the old man, but there was no one behind her anymore. She went to look for him, but no matter where she went, there was only her and Munch's painting in the museum. Yeah, I guess it makes sense to go back to you guys and you can sort of just talk about it together because it's just me here in this nice old fireplace. But thank you for time traveling with me. Oh, and then we're back again in the now. And that's a beautiful chapter of the book.
Yeah, I didn't know that you had made a film out of it. That was really nice.
But this is a proper show. Obviously,
yes.
We have proper films.
Yes, I'm so impressed.
Wouldn't go anywhere without it.
Yeah,
and I have a man over here is helping out, and then we can make magical stuff because you make magic, and we can also add to magic.
Yeah, I'm really mood. Yes.
That's our gift to you, and to our viewers, of course. There were many things I really liked about that chapter in particular. It really spoke to me.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you have a 1,000-year-old man coming magically into her reality, where she doesn't really know what to do, but feels this picture speaking to her, and he tells of suffering and pain and horrible stuff, but at the same time he also says that life is beautiful if you're just present in it. And then it disappears, and he's a guide.
Yes. Yeah, and we really worked with that scene because I sort of wanted him that the reader shouldn't know if he was a ghost or not. But then we had to make him real, but like really old and experienced. And because, you know, there has been pandemics in Norway before Corona. And tuberculosis was one of them, and I remember my grandfather told me about a lot of children dying on the on the little island where he grew up in the West. So I needed a man who had actually experienced that, and then we could relate it to Munch and his experience, so that it was like combined with the experience of Simone, that was really like in despair and could meet Munch's paintings and all the feelings that the paintings are.
Yeah, because it's a very clever way of conveying what Edvard Munch put into his art through the eyes of a child, but at the same time sort of linking it with the past through this sort of oddworldly figure. Yeah. Which, in a sense, feels somewhat like an angel, because he is sort of helping her on the way.
Yes, that's true.
Which
I very often have those older persons, like wise persons, in the book where the children can find like advices and some comfort also.
Yeah.
But they're not always very pedagogic, like very.
What's
it's not political correct always. No, they're like also being very stubborn and can be really tough sometimes. But life is tough sometimes, so you have to do it your own way. And I like now even in the new book, which I can. Tell the title
obviously
now because it's called Rainbow Summer.
It's a beautiful name.
Yes, because then you have like in the rainbow, you know, we are different. There are and also there are old people, and I worked in the English with dementia, people with dementia when I was young in my 20s. So now we are going into the institution with the people with dementia.
Yes.
People home.
Folks home with Alzheimer's or
because I love it when they are like a little bit crazy. You don't always know what to expect, and in the beginning then you are a little bit skeptical and perhaps even scared, and you want to like get away, and then you suddenly love them because they are like saying things directly as they are, and if they don't like someone, then they will tell them. Yes. And even though you can have a conversation and then they will suddenly like, nice weather, you know, they can just you lose them because
they're very present, but at the same time they get easily distracted.
Yes.
I remember this is a story I love. I'm not quite sure where I heard it, but the story goes somewhere along the lines like this. There is this boy, and for some strange reason, he always insists on going out into the backyard. And when the parents ask him what he's doing, because he's just walking around like rah, and what are you doing? And then it's like, I'm a dinosaur. And it's like rah, he's running around there in the backyard. And the parents say, no, you're not a dinosaur, you're a human. And then they take him to school, and then the school teaches him to be a human, to do human things. And then he's an adult, and he has children of himself, and he teaches them to be humans. And then he becomes an old person, and then he goes to the old folks home, and he's really old. And all of a sudden he goes back out into the backyard, and he says, "I'm a dinosaur."
Finally.
And obviously, from one perspective, dementia and Alzheimer's seems so horrible because, we have these ideas about what we are and how we are proper adults who can do dishwashers and drive cars and all that. And then when all of that strips away, we're just beings. Just being, and there's playfulness to it, but at the same time, you can't sort of attach it to all these things that we so fondly like to attach them to, which is liberating, but at the same time a bit terrifying, especially for us who are still very much attached to sort of like the ideas about who we are. But you're free, and you always were.
Yeah.
But the sort of the concept you met along the way, sort of like.
And I think, like with the dinosaur, for example, young readers, they love, that's a good story. But like when, for example, with the dementia, is that, yeah.
Yeah, dementia is a thing.
Yes. Well, for grown-ups, it's very serious.
Yeah, it's no laughing matter.
No. So, but when I worked there was this beautiful woman. She had been doing like gymnastic tune. Gymnastic, yes. So, and she wasn't gone here, but she always like managed to get out of the garden because she was just like getting out of the bed, and she ran away. So that's like one of the things that inspired me a little bit in the book with one of the old
Rainbow
men.
Summer one.
Yes.
Which obviously we'll have you back on the show when the book is ready, so we can talk about it, and then hopefully make it into a like full-fledged feature film.
Yeah.
Because my daughter is a beautiful, wonderful actress.
Yes.
And also the old guy we hired was also pretty amazing.
He was amazing.
He was amazing.
Perhaps also he has dementia, so that we can use him again.
He seems somewhat mad. Yes, for sure.
But when you were out fixing yourself for host role, then we were talking a little bit here, and then we talk about you experience something in life, and you can use it. It's your material,
yes.
for books or for whatever, so. Even working as a seller for 2 weeks, which I'm not very good at, I can use that, and I can also use the feelings. So when I'm coaching my students, my writers, my authors to come, I say you can use everything you learned in life, and when the more you use of what you are and what you know and what you feel, the more unique it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more you. So being here, I mean, it's a lot of work getting these surroundings.
Yes, it took years and years of compiling all of these clothes.
Exactly. And all the things that you present for your viewers,
my audience,
your guests,
and myself,
yourself, and to the world, is like the substance of you.
In fairy tales, there's this guy, what's he called, Espen Asklad?
Yes.
It's got an English name probably.
Yeah.
But he has, he goes out on a quest to do something, and along the way, he just picks up whatever he can find. And there's something about how you spoke of this, your experiences. That's you walking around, experiencing life, and you're putting it in your backpack, and it's not weighing you down. It's all the things you need further along the line. You just don't know for what, but it will sort of unveil itself. Like, for instance, when you're writing a book, because you worked at a convenience store 15 years ago, that all of a sudden is the perfect thing which you needed to actually propel the story forward or give you just the insights. And everything is sort of like just these small little tokens and gifts that you picked up on the path, leading you to
even the
where
girl that really broke your heart and you thought that you were going to die, now it gives the depth to your story, It's so everything you use, what you liked and what you didn't like, is now free to use. So it's a gift.
It is a gift. This is actually one of the things which I try to remind myself is we're very quick to label things like this is or say gift or curse.
Yes.
But everything's a gift.
Yes.
It's always a gift. No matter what, and then you can use it for something, because if it's a curse, you just want to sort of no, I don't want that stuff.
Yeah.
But the gift is sort of for yours to keep, and you can.
And if your dream is to create, and you have a so-called bad day, well, that's like it will color your project in a different way than if on a good day.
Yeah.
So you don't have to stand there in the like reception and smile when your dog just died, you know. You can just work it, write it, you can cry, you can use it for whatever it's worth. And I think that for me is like, that's a gift that I can be in my day with whatever I feel that day, and it can it be creative like source or force or can so everything you can use everything, both like the situations, but also the feelings and the power of the feelings. And
and again, that's the powerful stuff, because the situations are just situations, but the moment you know you're lost and you're feeling it, when you're reading it and it's just drawing you in, which reminds me, my God, I was reading The Never-Ending Story for my children. Have you read this book?
No.
It is. This is the most clever book I've read in my life.
Oh.
Now, as a child, obviously, I saw the film.
Oh yes, okay, I think
The Never-Ending Story.
Yes.
Obviously, you saw The Never-Ending Story because you've experienced the Limahl singing that song, Never-Ending Story.
Yeah.
But the book is the most meta and the most clever type of writing I have seen in a long time, because it's a book within a book within a book. But it's done so cleverly, and also he is also pointing at the same things like you are doing in this book, is sort of like being present and sort of creating a magical reality actually involves believing in a magical world. Because if you're just stripping it all down to nothing, it's all of this is just shopping malls and parking lots, and that's not really very exciting.
No.
I had to say to the kids, like, well, we have to finish reading this book because it's so damn exciting.
And they also like it?
They also like it.
Yes.
Obviously, I think I like it like 1,000,000,000%, and they're like really enjoying it. But they were like, yes,
but
we need to know where this is going.
Yes.
Where is this going? Because they're playing with the whole concept of story, and they're sort of picking it apart.
Yeah.
And the main character is reading a book, but is he in the book or is he outside of the book? And at one point, you're just like, oh shit, we're in the book, and it's so beautifully done.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read it, recommend reading it for your kids,
I will
or
try.
just for yourself.
Yeah.
In German, I believe it's the original language. We read it in Norwegian, because my German is a bit. It's not what it used to be.
It will be a bit difficult for your children also.
Yes,
you read it
I don't think they've had any German at all.
No, that's like out.
Yeah, that book was made into a film. Has any of your books been made into films? Except obviously that scene from your
well, now it has, yes. Yeah, no. But perhaps I'm very filmatic when I work. I can see it in my head and then, pick it down. So
yeah, and when you write things, it also has a very sort of cinematic feel to it, because you're sort of setting up the scene and sort of adding these.
And you asked
elements.
where the characters come from, but this series with Simone is the first time where I didn't know where. I just got like a still picture in my head that someone, which was Simone, I didn't know at that time. She was waiting for something to happen. She was in the forest, and then she was waiting for her friend to become, after a while, that he had a secret that he wanted to share. And she was standing there, and I didn't know what was the secret, so I had to go with them to see what's in the basement. And so it was exciting for me as well, because I think that feeling I need to know where this story is going. And that was with the Cat Mist. And I heard that even 5-6-year-old, like pretty mature readers with reading with their parents, but even up to 15, 16 years old boys could read that story and was sitting up in the night reading because how does this story end?
Yeah, you want to.
Yeah, because we very often say, this is we write for a child between 8 and 10 years old. No, you know, when you have a story that's more universal and it's for everyone.
Yeah.
That feeling, where is this story going? That's what you're after, you know, when you write for children and also grown-ups. But yeah, you have to hook them up and make them curious.
Yes, that's pretty beautiful. That is pretty beautiful, right?
Yes, and it's fun too.
And fun
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't get bored while I'm writing.
No, because you go on an adventure.
Yes, exactly.
On the page.
Yes, and now with the new suddenly number 4.
Book.
Yes. There was we were trying to find out the English word of this woman that has like powers.
Oh yeah, the psychic powers, a clairvoyant or what's it?
Clairvoyant.
No, but it's called a looking into a glass. The Wicked Witch of the West. No, it evades me, but yeah.
Yeah, well, and I feel that I'm exploring that as with the angels, you know.
Yeah.
It's mystical. You don't really know. Does she see the future or not? Yeah. She sort of makes she says something and it seems to be true, but can you trust it? Was it her, you know? Did she see the future or was it a coincidence?
Yeah. Well, the moment you start talking about the future, you're sort of also starting to make paths into the future. So it's tricky business.
Yeah, but it's very fun because I don't know where it will end and I don't know what will happen with the characters because it's so early in the story.
Yeah,
so it's
you just have to
go with the flow.
Ride,
yes, go run into the forest and see what's there. You know,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's exciting.
How are we on time?
1:13.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
Not too bad.
No. Normally I'm sleeping at. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
You're not my target audience. But you are my favorite guests of guests. All guests are favorites because it's so wonderful to have people to talk with.
Of course, you have to say that. Make the guests feel special. But with that song, I know. Did you sing for Annette like that, your wife?
I sing for the children.
Yes, but when you met her, did you sing like that? Because it just with the
I did not sing like that when I met her.
Oh no,
like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because I would understand her completely with that look and everything, you know, like almost like Italian, you know.
Oh, the Italian.
Yes.
Maybe I should learn Italian.
It's
a very fun language.
Yes.
My pasta and stuff.
Yeah.
No, actually, when we married 10 years ago, we sang at the wedding.
Yes,
but
together?
I got so emotional that I struggled singing. She has a beautiful voice, and also she is way more sort of comfortable with her singing voice at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I choked up. But actually, she was my guest 2 episodes ago, so you can watch that episode. And we sing the song we sang at our wedding.
Yes.
So you can get the whole wedding experience.
But in the wedding, you can cry. You are allowed to have a little breakdown. It just gives, you know,
authenticity to the experience. You don't just want the wedding to be yes.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Yes.
It always is.
Yeah.
Now, at the end, because it does feel sort of like we came to a very nice sort of nice spot. Beautiful book.
Yeah.
It was an earthquake.
Yes.
It was lovely. And now I'm looking so much forward to the next one and the next one.
Yes.
And the children are as well. So that's a win-win.
Good to hear. Yes.
And I want always to end the show with a quote that I sort of find works well with what we've talked about and stuff like that. So that's why I brought this iPad. doesn't have to charge it anymore. It's got a battery. It's like 66%, so it's fine. And I searched the internet far and wide for a quote that I feel like go really well with tonight's episode. And this is connected to internet, and the internet is full of information, and obviously especially quotes. And yeah, this one's good. This one I think is on the money. And I was wondering, Camilla, would you mind reading this quote into that camera over there? Because that's...
Yes, is this like a... Okay, yes.
I think that works.
If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
Yes.
I don't think he ever wrote any books. Maybe he did, I don't know, but...
but it was a good quote, yes.
I think it reflects
it was nice.
well.
You should have showed them the rose as well.
You did now.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And you know, it's something about what you said when people come to you and you try to help them on their quest to become writers. It's sort of like, well, it starts with you, and you just have to let it sort of.
And allow yourself to have a dream as well.
Yeah, allow yourself to be you.
Yes, and to live the life you want to live.
Yes. Not the life you think others want you to live. Because that's really hard.
Yes.
It requires a whole lot of guessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need support when you are crossing your comfort zone and going into the wild, into the dream, into who you are or whatever.
Into uncharted territory.
Yes.
Yes. The great beyond.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Do you think anything else you wanna?
Yeah. Well, we could sit there forever.
We could sit there forever, but you can just come back some other time.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yes,
I think we will do that. So.
Yes. Yeah. It was so great talking about your book.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for the dream book. That's quite the treat.
Yeah.
Because we are, after all, living in the dream. And we're going to end with a song, obviously, because that's how you end.
Yes, yes. All
because then it never
good shows,
ends.
yes.
Yeah, then it just sort of keeps on going. And I read on the internet that today is the new moon. And the new moon... and something about Aquarius, I don't like me and astrology. That's the science and stuff, right? Because I get those two mixed. It's not my forte, but I am an Aquarius. And quite recently, I really liked the idea that this is sort of like the Aquarius was really strong now, and this is the age of Aquarius. And I'm like, yes, this I like. This I can jive with. Yeah. This works well. And tonight was a very special day because the planets are aligned in a very great way. So the power of the Aquarius is super strong, and I think we all felt it now, even though it's always great. Today it was extra great because the moon was helping or something like that. And I remember that there's a song about this Aquarius thing. And I thought that's the perfect way to end the episode. Yeah. And before, obviously, we sign off, I want to say to you, my dear guest, thank you so much for being on the show. From the bottom of my heart, which is bottomless, by the way. I love you.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. And I look forward to a new song.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
And to all my wonderful viewers... thank you so much for being with us on this wonderful journey called life. I love you guys. And if you have some money to spare, become a Patreon. And me and Marky Mark over there, we've been putting the final touch. Am I allowed to call you that?
Go ahead.
Score, that's good vibrations, man. And the next episode of the ULF Experience, we're just putting the final touches on it because we have an editor now. Because I can't edit anymore. I've done it for thousands of years, and this great guy, he is my savior. There will be a new episode coming out, I think tomorrow, or it's at like any second. So you'd want to be a patron because you can't see it if you're not a patron, if you know what I'm saying. Here's guitar. Now, I don't know this song by heart, so I have to use my daughter's iPad to look at the... Oh my God, where's the thing? We're good. This is such a great day. Now we should have sung that. It's such a perfect day. That'll be next time. Next time. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius, Aquarius. Well, I hit the high notes. Aquarius. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. Normal falsehoods or derisions, golden living, dreams of vision, mystic crystal revelation, and the mind's true liberation. Aquarius. Aquarius. Oh, now I've lost track, and I feel we got the point. Thank you so much. Age of Aquarius, Aquarius right here, and tune in next Thursday. New great show. Dream on. Outro.
Age